Well, let's get into it today. We got our guest speaker on, a regional vice president. He's flying back and forth between Oregon and California and back east and down south and up north and wherever else his team is growing at. And I want to say thank him for having him on here. Can't wait for his message. The one and only, to give a warm welcome to regional vice president, Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
What's up, Mr. T? How are you? I hope everybody is doing well. So you guys, let me start where I always start. And that is just thanking Al for having this platform, you guys. He does not need to do this. There's all these different teams that plug in to this call and a way to give back. And I know he does that literally on a daily basis and sometimes multiple calls a day, whether they're in the morning, at night, or a combination of both. So Al, I appreciate your friendship, your leadership, what you do for the company, what you do for the team. I appreciate that. Oh, let's see here. Hang on. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, right on. So, you guys, I have to tell you, so I had something else planned for today, but I changed it up as a result of some things that happened this week. And so you guys know I have these conversations with you pretty frequently. What's up, Josh Casey? Hey, Kimberly. Just randomly say hi to some folks here. So over the course of this last week, right? I had something planned kind of in an order of what I was covering with you guys this month. And one of the things that I covered is talking about what builds confidence for us doing ACN, right? Whether you're a new person or you're an experienced person. And what are those things that build confidence? Right? Because that's really important in what we do. What are your confidence builders? What are the things that are going to help you feel confident about having conversations with people, about putting people through the process, about getting somebody a result, helping somebody get customer qualified, helping somebody earn a promotion, helping somebody get a bonus? Notice the theme there is helping people, right? How do we do this? What builds that confidence? Well, what I covered with you guys was a system will build confidence, right? Knowing that you can rely and lean on a system. That system comes from your leaders. That system comes from the culture that you create, right? And then the second thing, quite frankly, is results. What results are you getting that builds confidence? So we went into some detail about that. Just show of hands or a thumbs up. Wow, a lot of people have their cameras off today. Thumbs up, or do you guys remember that conversation? Yes or no? Are we all on the same page? I hope. Yes. Okay. Kimberly, thank you. Hey, Terry, what's going on? Catherine, thank you. Okay, cool. So I want to make sure that we're on the same page with that. Well, today, what I changed my notes to talk to you guys about, it's probably a topic that you've heard before, but I'm hoping that I'm going to share a couple things with you on the screen that are going to maybe have you think of things just a little differently. Mr. Thomas, is that okay? All right. Thank you, sir. So what I want to talk to you guys about, which I think is really important, is belief. And here's the thing about belief, right? There's two ways to look at belief in our business. And by the way, that goes to the very first thing we talked about, which was a system and results. Now, you guys understand, do y'all believe that In-N-Out Burger works? Yeah, it works, right? They're all over the place, and there's a line around the parking lot, right? We know it works. Right? We know that Lowe's and Home Depot and Starbucks and these companies that have master distribution for whatever it is that they do, we know that it works because we can see it. Here's the thing. They have a system that allows them to duplicate what they're doing to get to the most number of people. Well, that's our business. And then you can obviously see that they get results from what they're doing within all of those locations. So there's no question, right? This is funny to me, you guys. Here goes. Buddy Lee, I got your meme this morning with my with my coffee cup. Okay. There's no question about belief with any of those entities, right? There's no question about belief because we can see it. So here's the thing about belief. Belief gets tied to faith. And here goes. Belief gets tied into faith. And when I say faith, I'm not saying that somebody needs to be a religious person. I happen to be a person of faith. I know lots of people are, right? I'm not telling you what to do. I am telling you this, that belief, in my opinion, is in fact tied to faith. And there's got to be like some faith that things are going to work out, some faith that things are going to go the right way, some faith that we're going to get the end goal, the result that we want. That there has to be some activity consistently that's tied to a system that gets us results, and that is going to produce, right, belief, which is tied to faith. Here goes. What do we do when we don't have that around us? What do we do when we do not have that in our environment on a daily basis? What do we do when we feel like we're kind of like the lone wolf? Like, so you guys, here goes. I'm going to tie these all together. So on previous calls, we talked about what builds confidence. I think it's a system that you have and getting results. That's where confidence comes from. And what it's tied to is belief, your belief, which is tied to faith, having some faith that things are going to work out. Everybody with me so far? For those of you that do have your cameras on? Okay, cool. All right, good deal. So here goes. Now, check this out. Here's where we're going to take the next step. What happens? And by the way, all of us go through this. Mr. Thomas, can you unmute for 1 second?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sure you've said this to the team and certainly to your team, but I just want everybody to hear this. In your run to SVP, the businesses that you've built, and certainly what you've built here, were there days and are there days where you feel you are solo? You have to go out there and figure it out on your own, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, are there days where your team, right? And this is not a judgment on anybody's team. Are there days where we feel like, you know what? My team isn't producing the way I want to. I need to be the one to go and do it.
Yes.
You just chuckled. Let me ask you, how often does that happen?
Quite a bit.
Thank you. So, by the way, Mr. T, do you have faith that things are going to work out?
Always.
How about that answer? This is almost like an interview with an SVP talking about the very topic that I wanted to tell you guys about, which comes down to belief. So here, thank you, Mr. T.
You're welcome.
About belief, right? You can impact your level of belief by your actions. In spite of what the environment, maybe some family, maybe some friends, maybe some previous business partners, you can do that. Right, Rick, doubt sets in. He just said it, doubt sets in. You guys, we're all, this is a real conversation. That happens for everybody, but the question isn't whether or not that happens. The question is, how do you respond to it? How do you react to it? What do you do when those things inevitably are going to happen to all of us? I gotta take my shirt off. Now, all my shirts, just that shirt. Getting warmed up here. Here we go. So if that is in fact the case, and you know that those days are coming, how prepared are you? What is your level of belief in what it is that you're doing? That falls back to having faith that things are going to work out and having a system that works that gets results. Now, let's go back. If you're not getting the results that you want, what needs to change? If you're not getting the results you want, what needs to change? Something. Something needs to change, right? I'm not going to go into the definition of an insanity. We all know what that is. So something needs to change. So guess what, you guys? 9:12 a.m. on Friday, 12:12 p.m. On the East Coast. Guess what? You got the whole day ahead of you to change something. You got the whole day ahead of you to prove someone wrong. By the way, you guys, isn't it fun? Let's be honest. Isn't it fun when you have that person? Al's already grinning. Isn't it fun when you have that person in your life? That doesn't work. It's one of those things. You're trying that again. Oh my God, you're going back to the well. You're drinking the Kool-Aid, all that stuff. But this time around, you prove them wrong. I'm not telling you to do it for them, but let's be honest. Don't you enjoy it when it happens? Yes or no? Better believe it. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying be obnoxious. I'm not saying be a bully. I'm not saying be a brat. I'm not saying put it in someone's face, but you can take some internal, uh, um, you can have some internal recognition that you did not need everybody's approval to do what you are doing to build what is going to impact your life and your family's life. You know what's funny, you guys, because when it comes down to this, when people are maybe they give us some pushback or they're not supportive the way that we would want them to be, all of those things, you guys, isn't it funny? Man, I wish everybody's mic was open. I would love to hear this conversation. Isn't it funny that the very same people that mostly aren't supportive are also the very same people that don't really have a solution for us? Isn't it funny? They don't come up with a solution on how to get more time in your life. They don't have a solution on how to get your schedule on you working for you. They don't have a solution on how you're going to pursue this passion that you have, but you can't leave your job because you have to make sure the bills get paid. How am I going to do this? So they have all kinds of judgment and maybe even some criticism, but isn't it funny? They don't come to the table with any solutions. So to me, I think that's very telling. So what kind of person are you going to be in that environment? Are you going to be the person that's in the boat that the waves and the wind take you wherever they want to go? Or are you going to be the person in the boat that's controlling where you're going in spite of the conditions? You have to decide that. You have to decide that, right? That's how our business works. You know, the business works like this, you guys. You are getting haymakers. You're getting punched in the gut. Someone didn't show up for a meeting. Someone decided not to become a customer. All these things, you guys, here goes. How is your response at your next meeting? Are you bringing that in there or do you let that thing go? Right? Find a pillow, scream into it, get upset for a second, let that go, get it out of your system. Let's go, because your next person could be your next person. Your next meeting could be your next 20 meetings. Your next guest could be your next 50 guests. What do I mean by that? 1 leads to 2, leads to 4, leads to 8, leads to 16, leads to 32, leads to 64. That's what can happen. But it will not happen if the results that you got that didn't go the way you wanted inform your attitude moving forward. It can inform your tactics. It can inform your skill set. Like maybe there's something because we can all do better. Oh man, this person said this and I freaking missed it. Or you know what? I gave them too much information. I should have got them to my leader. You guys, we can work with that. I'm giving you permission not to beat yourself up over it, but I am also saying we need to look at this as business partners. What worked, what didn't, all with the design that we are building a business that will get us results that will be proof and evidence of the system working. My challenge for you all today is to think about this. How do you handle it when that's not there? There's 2 types of people, folks. There's 2 groups. Here they are. Do you want to see them? Or do you want to hear them? Here they are. I will believe it when I see it. And then there are, I will believe it. I know I will see it. Right? One has to have empirical evidence. The other has faith. I know I will see this. I know this is coming. I know regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, senior vice president. I'm on a path to get there. Just watch me work. Right? Like that is the difference, you guys. I'll believe it when I see it. I know I'll see it because I believe it. What level of belief and faith do you have? So you guys, over the course of this last week, one of the things that got me to change the topic that I was going to cover today to this belief topic, you guys know we've been together a long time. I'm a big sports guy. And Whether you're a San Antonio Spurs fan or a New York Knicks fan, this was one of the craziest NBA playoffs ever. And I will tell you this: I think that this is the very beginning. Listen, I'm not telling you who to root for, who not to root for, who do you love, who you don't love, and all that stuff. I'm just telling you that when a generational talent like Victor Wembanyama, a 7'4" guy that runs around and handles the ball like a guard and can shoot threes like he does, is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know anybody that's been around sports that's seen anything like it. But there's a moral to the story here, and I have a couple things to show you guys to illustrate my point about what it is that we go through when we have. By the way, have y'all ever had any naysayers come across your path in ACN? Okay, got it. We all have. If someone didn't raise their hand, by the way, if someone didn't raise their hand, that means you're not doing ACN. If someone didn't raise their hand, I got someone who said this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It looks like this. It's the people at the top make all the money, all that stupid stuff that we hear. If you don't have one of those, that means you're not talking to people because they're out there. Jim Rohn said they're out there, right? John Maxwell said they walk among us, right? Like anyway, so here we go. Right? They're out there. See, right? Here, I told you I was bringing it today. So here we go. I want you guys to think about this. On the Knicks, their star is a guy named Jalen Brunson. And this has been an unbelievable run. But here's what people don't remember. You guys, I hope that you turn your volume up for this, because to me, this illustrates so much of what we go through. Okay? So, Jalen Brunson was acquired by the Knicks from the Dallas Mavericks. And I found the clips of what people thought about that acquisition. And there are going to be people that, if you're a sports fan, there are going to be people that you're going to recognize. And I'm telling you right now, you guys are not going to believe what they said about this. And I'm going to show it to you. And then I'm also going to show you the response after the proof and evidence of all of this happening. So here we go, you guys. Just let me know. Let me know when you are ready. Let me just make sure I can share my audio. All right. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, you guys, because I do not want you to miss a word of this. So please settle in and watch this, because I believe that this happens to all of us in ACN. And this is just illustrative of what it is that sometimes we have to deal with, and what can happen for you if you do the things that get trained on these calls can happen for you over time. So give me a thumbs up if y'all are ready. Yeah, you ready? Here goes. Okay, very good. Check this out, you guys. And it's a couple minutes, so I'll only play it once. But remember, this is about Jalen Brunson, that NBA Finals MVP that brought a championship to a city that hasn't had one in over 50 years.
Awful idea.
And for what? To go all in hopes of signing Jalen Brunson?
And I worry that they're gonna look at Jalen Brunson and they're like, wait, we spent $27 million a year on this?
And by the way, he's not a 1. I'm not even sure he's a real 2.
The saddest sweepstakes ever. The Jalen Brunson sweepstakes. Is Jalen Brunson one of the 10 best point guards in basketball? Maybe he's 10.
I don't think he's top 10. I mean, he might not be top 14.
I don't think this is a move that puts them into playoff contention.
It's got to be something in addition to Jalen Brunson.
It is not going to be the type of player that elevates them into contender status.
But, I mean, do we think Brunson is a guy that is going to bring them to a second-round playoff series? He's not.
I don't love the Jalen Brunson signing. I think it's too much money. And I think if anybody screams potential bust in this class, to me, it's Jalen Brunson going to the Knicks.
The 2026 NBA Finals MVP is the captain, Jalen Brunson.
For anybody who's a fan of father-son moments, doesn't get much better than this. What does it feel like to stand next to him holding that trophy and the Knicks having this trophy, Jalen?
Is everything we dreamed of. That's why I came to New York.
Someday, I wanna lay down like I did Sunday. Sunday, I remember things on Sunday. That way, yeah, way, Sunday, I wanna let it back. Sunday, I wanna hit the way that I never got. Sunday.
Now I want you guys to think about this. That was almost 20 NBA journalists saying he's not worth it. He should not have been paid that money. All of those guys, Stephen A. Smith, all of them saying this was a bad move by the New York Knicks. And he ended up being the finals MVP. So now, would you guys like to hear what he said to everybody at the parade? Would you like to hear how he addressed all those people, yes or no? Here goes. Listen up. Give me a thumbs up that you can hear him. Let me know when you're ready. Y'all good? Here goes.
There's a lot of people that have a lot of negative stuff to say. There's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. But when you prove them wrong, you really don't have to say to them. Nah, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
So when you have those people in your life, and I have those people in my life that are questioning what we're doing, why we're doing this, going back again and again and again, you're still doing this. You're going to another event. You're going to this thing in Arlington. Man, you haven't made a dime. What are you doing? Why are you talking to these people? You go do something else. You're spinning your wheels, right? Let me tell you guys something. If you quit, they were right. If you quit, you did spend your time spinning your wheels. So here's the message. When we say don't quit, it doesn't mean don't quit and don't do anything. It means just see your way through so you have that conversation. So that's you guys getting your regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, senior vice president. So you're the one that's up there. So they're looking at you. And you can say, for all the haters, for all the people that didn't believe, for the people that didn't support me, for the people that didn't have my back, for the people that didn't show up during this ride, remember this. If you weren't with me on the ride up, don't expect to be with me on the ride to the next spot. Like, that needs to be the attitude that we have inside. I'm not saying be a brute. I'm not saying be mean. I'm saying act with class and understand that these things happen to people. And it's never a question of whether or not they happen. It's always a question of how we respond to it. There's another person that will hear your message. There's another person that will be open to the conversation. There's another person whose life you could positively impact because of this vehicle that we have. There's another person out there whose family tree you could change by putting them in front of the information. And all of this is 90 days before the launch of, potentially the launch of FinTech, you guys, which is the craziest thing ever. I'm going absolutely nuts. I have meetings. I won't go into the details right now. I have meetings literally all day, every day with people. Why? Because I believe that this launch, to me, is going to be one of the biggest things that the company has ever done. It logically resonates with me. We all have some sort of financial transactions that have to take place. Why can't you use this vehicle and this launch to be the champion that puts you in front of all those people and be proof and evidence because you had faith when things maybe weren't going your way? You stayed the course, you built the business, and now the proof and evidence is in front of you and in front of all of those people that did support you, all those people that did have your back, all the people that were there for you. You guys, this is the opportunity we have right now. So I hope your level of belief and faith in what it is that you're doing, regardless of the result, you move on to the next, or you serve the one you're with and watch what happens for you in your business. So Mr. T, that's what I had. I hope that was helpful. I'll turn it back over to you.